Welcome to the Awaken the Awesome podcast with your host, Olivier D. This is Awaken the Awesome, a podcast bringing a down-to-earth approach to personal growth. On this show, we're helping individuals just like you learn about tapping into their incredible potential through insightful interviews and inspiring lessons. Our mission is to encourage you to always keep pushing towards achieving your dreams and to stay awesome along the way. I didn't really know how to get on this one, but I never actually do, so I'm not kidding myself. Live from ATA Tribe. As of this one, just me for now. Wanted to check in. How's everybody doing? And I just wanted to do this one because it felt right. And it's not even, I don't want to worry you guys. There's nothing tragic happening. It's just me, as always. Every time I do these, it's always because I'm always deep in thought. And some things do pop up and something do merit mentioning when they do happen. It's kind of emotional because I don't often do this. It's over the beginning of the week. In the whole craziness of, the wife and the kids and the job and everything and this, I just, as often do, check my phone, check emails and stuff. And one email came in about a new review for ATA. No, that's a lie. An email didn't come in. That's another story. But I was just randomly checking the podcast and, the stats and if there been some bleeps on the interwebs on how the podcast is doing. And I think that it was one of those times where, I don't know, when some things you did not expect just happen out of nowhere, and it really catches you off guard in a good way. And it was one of those times where it happened, and I'm like, that really revealed to me of how I really needed to hear that. So long story short, I got a fantastic review from someone. And the words were so heartfelt and precious. It felt right to not just sit on it and just keep it into my little, box under my bed of nice things that people have said over the years. Because I do read everything you guys say. And one fault of mine is that I don't reply often enough as I should. But I do read everything you guys say. Whether privately or publicly, it's always appreciated. But this time, it felt right to go outside of what I usually do and pay homage to you guys for these words, these seconds, minutes, hours that you give this show, me, your attention and your time. So the words touched me so much, and I felt it was very appropriate to share them with you. And let's hop to it. It was on Apple Podcast, and the person who shared it posted it on May the 8th of 2023. 5-star review. And I have to say, first of all, I have no idea who this user is. The user goes by Kira7. So Kirah 7. And I do believe, I don't know how Apple works. And for most people who don't do this, you may have Apple Podcasts, but whether you're in Canada, US, Haiti, if you are on the Apple Podcast app, some reviews that you give on the US won't show because I'm in Canada, and sometimes I have to switch the Apple Podcast country of origin to often see some reviews elsewhere. So believe it or not, if you're in the Dominican Republic and you post a review, I'm not going to see it because I'm in Canada. So I have to manually switch the country of origin to see that review. So this is neither here nor there. So I was just playing around and I saw this review by, again, Kira7. And these are the words. ATA Podcast is where and what I turn to when I need a recharge. That was the title. I discovered this podcast back in 2019. At that time, I was younger and we came a long way. I've been in trial and error process with my life since the beginning. But throughout the episodes, I was able to learn, grow, and evolve. I've been a silent listener, but I feel like that podcast genuinely contributed in who I am becoming. All the things I've accomplished is because this podcast always has the best guests with great advice and life experiences that force me into seeing my worth, all that I'm capable of, and to take the leap, go after what I want. I want to let Olivier know that the movement or the work that you're doing is not in vain. There's people out there that you've touched and inspired. Keep doing what you're doing and stay awesome. Well, you guys don't see it on my face, but it's quite emotional. It's not something I take for granted at all. And I really want to say this off the top. I know there have been a lot of people, a lot of supporters, close friends, dear friends, day one listeners who have always been there in my corner and who have often given me a terrific support. You know, I can name people like Kika. I can name people like Marika. I can name people like Christelle, Ray, Dominique, my sister, my wife. A lot of people have been in my corner. Coralie, the Defenders of Awesomeness, Zami Fami. It's been incredible to have people so incredibly supportive. And I'm not posting this saying that none of your words have meant nothing. I'm not trying to, says this person was more important than others. But it did give me pause. And it's probably my fault for not always. My sister often tells me this, like, I still can't believe that you're still the fact that you can remain so humble and so childishly surprised at your own success is what keeps pushing you. And it's what I admire, because you're not letting it get to your head. You don't let it get to your head because you are still so genuinely surprised at comments like this. That's from my sister. My wife is the same. It's like, you have a gift. When are you going to finally, like, you keep telling everybody, to push out their gifts, and you still are surprised at your own. It's not that I'm surprised. It's that in the most simplest words I can put it, sometimes stuff like this reminds me that I'm not crazy. It hasn't always been easy. It hasn't always been fun. A lot of hours, a lot of time. And you do go mad sometimes. And I really mean mad. You really want to just sit here in front of the computer and say, why the hell am I doing this? Like, what's the point? What's the point? And anytime where you feel like you want to give up, you don't, because it matters to you. You understand that this is your human condition of impatience or frailty or just being tired. You just haven't slept, you haven't worked, and you put in a lot of time where you probably shouldn't. And the podcast is there waiting for you to fuel it and give it your all, which you do. And you get words like this any single time that you feel like, okay, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm not feeling it. Like, it's not genuine anymore. Like, we had so many plans and plans fall to the wayside, but we're still here. One episode at a time. One episode at a time. And we're still going strong. I have no idea who wrote this. I really don't. And I really mean this, guys. I have no idea who wrote that review. It's just something that really gave me pause. I guess I was probably in a uncomfortable place and questioning a lot of things, and it's not about even pulling me back in. I never stepped out the ring. It's just one of those things that really matter to you, to realize that This is very real. And we've been at this 6 years. I've been doing this 6 years, and this podcast is going to be still around as long as I'm breathing. As I said since day one, I have no idea where the ship is going, but I'm more than excited to see what happens. Every stroke, every day, in every way. It's not an easy task. I've had dozens, if not so many people come to me and say, like, yeah, I want to start a podcast. I want to start a podcast. And I remember it was Thierry Landor who told me way back when, this is a long game. The people who have put in the work, the people who are willing and understand that this is going to be for the long run are the people who are going to reap the rewards down the road. This is a zero-sum game. You get back what you put in. A lot of people, unfortunately, keep thinking that this is easy. It's not. I'm not trying to scare you, but it's not. It's not. It's easy, but it's what I mean by easy. The barrier of entry is very low, as opposed to video, as opposed to micro content and stuff. But you guys exist. There are people out there who turn to this podcast, who care about it, for whom this podcast matters, and who have the time, attention, and forethought and transparency to check in and say, like, hey, Uri, just want you to know, you're doing good work. You may not know it. You may not see us. Maybe we don't check in enough, or maybe we don't tell you, or maybe it's your own insecurity thinking that we don't exist, but your tribe exists. This thing that you built is very real, and it matters to someone. And that's why I keep telling you guys, watch your words. I've always said this. If it can matter, have a positive impact, or positively influence at least one person, that is an episode well spent. That is time well spent. I do not consider this a sacrifice, but I do consider it a commitment, a dedication, and a gift of self. I don't know what your particular gift is. All I can do is stand here as concrete and living proof. I'm not talking about mansions. I'm not talking about cars and vacations. I'm talking about living through your gift. These are words that do matter. Your gift will make room for you. And those words really hit home for me because on another facet, it keeps reminding me that this is you at a partial, involvement into your craft. I don't have just the podcast in my life. I have a full-time job. I've got lots of other responsibilities, but I still make this podcast happen. And look at how far we've come. Now, imagine if I put in just maybe 10% more involvement, 10% more structure, 10% more commitment, 10% more dedication. It is possible. You hear people say, go all in. I don't know what all in means at this point. I've taken a lot of chances with this podcast, and we've done a lot thanks to you. I guess I just want to say thank you, because it went from nothing, literally nothing, to something. And something for someone is enough. Because guess what? You guys are not asking for everything. At least that's what I'm getting. You guys just care. This little something that I can give you, for some of you, apparently, through these words, is more than enough. And it matters to you. And I'm going to continue to acknowledge the truth and how precious that is. I want you to know that these words do not fall on deaf ears and on an ungrateful heart. Kira, whoever you are, wherever you are, I'm hoping that these words find you well, safe, blessed, and awesome. To all my friends and family, close, near, far, do know that this is not putting you guys aside or shedding an unappreciative light on all the love that you've helped me throughout these 6 years. This is just taking a pause and saying a heartfelt thank you to everyone and everyone and everyone. And I really do mean everyone, even you haters, because we do have some. Because some people would rather see you fail for some reason, but we don't pay them mind. We just wish them success, blessings, and nothing less, because I'm going to get mine. You get yours. I'm focused on mine. I don't need yours. I got mine. I got my tribe. And for me, that is more than enough. Guys, thank you for listening to this rambling. I love you guys. Thank you so much. So humbled and so grateful for you all. Gonna keep putting in the work. Gonna keep grinding. Gonna keep bringing you bigger and better guests. Gonna keep showing up. Gonna keep consistent. Gonna keep dedicated. Onward and upward. Stay blessed. Stay safe. And as always do, stay awesome. This has been another episode of the Awaken the Awesome podcast. We always love to get your feedback, so please do drop us a line via Instagram, Facebook, or email. Our email address, awakentheawesome@gmail.com. Do visit our official website at awakentheawesome.ca, where you can find our entire back catalog of episodes and incredible guests. Also, if you haven't already, please hop on over to Apple Podcasts and subscribe, give us a rating, and leave us a review, as this helps us tremendously in growing this podcast and spreading the word to more awesome listeners like you. We always appreciate your support, and thank you for listening. Stay awesome.